Good morning, everybody. This is a great book. I highly recommend it. It's another book by William SHEEHAN. He's one of my favorite authors. This one is called Worlds in the Sky. It's a planetary discovery from through the earliest times through Voyager and Magellan. It's basically broken down into 3 parts. The first is a period in which there were naked eye observers, and that is by far the longest period. And it also achieved the least results. The next period is the observers begun to observe through telescopes. And this where these sections, of course, are of most interest to me. And then there's a brief period of Voyager and Magellan discoveries. Certainly not up to date. Excuse the snoring in the background. That's my bulldog. Just enjoying the morning rest. Yeah, this is a great book. It tells a story of some fantastic observers. It's called World in the Skies. You know, a lot of these observers felt that there were other Earths within our solar system. These planets, or wanderers, as they were called by the Greeks, move among a set background of stars. And they were an enigma. But we have the moon. It's covered. Venus, asteroids, Mars. This is drawn by Richard Baum. Excuse me. Was a unfavorable observation on the left and a favorable one on the right. The book is dedicated to him too. There's a meeting of astronomers. The fellow right in the center is Schroeder, which Schroeder's Valley is named after. We have asteroids. We move into Jupiter. It's neat. It tells a story of the history of the observations, observing. Here's Mercury, if I'm not mistaken. Oop, no, that's still Jupiter. That's a planet, probably, or a moon of Jupiter. Go into Saturn, edgewise phenomenon. That's where the rings cannot be seen. It's a Voyager 1 image. Voyager spacecraft view of Saturn, showing its rings. Pretty neat. Uranus. You know, it's pretty neat. Highly recommend the book. I've read it many times. Clyde Tombaug's discovery of Pluto. which I still consider to be a planet. Never seen it, but I know it's out there. And then an appendix. Ever since early stargazers discovered that some heavenly bodies wander among the others, people have been fascinated by the planets. In Worlds in the Sky, William Sheehan gives us a history of this long fascination, weaving together scientific history, anecdotes surrounding planetary discoveries, and personal reflections of an incurable amateur astronomer. He describes how we arrive at our current understanding of the moon and the planets, and shows us how certain individuals in history shaped the world's knowledge about the solar system. There's another book here that I haven't read, is Planets and Perception, Telescopic Views and Interpretations from 1609 to 1909. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's a landmark volume that reveals, explains, and puts into perspective one of the most exciting chapters in the history of planetary observation, or planetary astronomy. Very good. So if you can find this, and I think it's available and still in print, you can buy it on Amazon, and it's in paperback. And anyone who loves the sky or has a telescope, really like to recommend you buy this work. After reading it, sometimes I go out and I fire up a few candles, set them on a table to the side of my scope, and do some old-fashioned observing. So, yeah, this is a good one. Highly recommend it.